Chapter 192, Fall of the Blood Wolf Gang. The news of Yu Shan's assassination blew across the scene like wind. The Blood Wolf Gang troops will to fight practically vanished in an instant, together with their previous ferociousness. In their place, was an endless panic. Everyone knew that with the loss of Yu Shan, it would be difficult for the Blood Wolf Gang to establish themselves in Yan City again. Furthermore, under the furious counterattack of the Thousand Gold Association, it was likely that the former would be completely cleaned out from Yan City. This top faction, which had towered over Yan City for about a dozen years, was now completely defeated, and the one who had caused this change was merely a youngster who was not even 20 years of age. As they gazed at the halberd-wielding figure which slowly landed on the ground, everyone could feel the solemn aura from his body. Shimmering in his eyes, was a heart-palpitating and icy glint. On his own, he could fight against 3 perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioners. With such strength, even in this entire Yan City, who could hope to match up against him? While Lin Dong's body landed, most of the Blood Wolf Gang troops had already started to flee for their lives, with the exception of a few resisting famed elites. Naturally, the Thousand Gold Association would not give up this opportunity to chase them down. Their battered main entrance suddenly jutted open, as a large group of infuriated Thousand Gold Association troops gushed forth like a tidal wave. Full of killing intent, they hunted down the Blood Wolf Gang troops that were now fleeing for their lives. Some of these obstinate fighters were directly drowned by this tidal wave. Yu Shan's death very clearly demonstrated defeat by a landslide. That seemingly invincible Blood Wolf Gang was quickly decimated in mere minutes, suffering major casualties due to the Thousand Gold Association's efforts. With regards to hunting down the remaining Blood Wolf Gang members, Lin Dong was not too interested in it. After all, these matters would be deftly handled by the Thousand Gold Association. He slowly walked towards Yu Shan's body, which was lying in a pool of blood, as he stared at the man, who was once a tyrant in Yan City, with calm eyes. He clearly understood how vicious this man was, hence, this time around, he could not afford to let him live. Else, he would encounter more problems down the road. While Lin Dong was staring at Yu Shan's corpse, the rest of the Lin family members swiftly huddled over. They stared at that ice-cold corpse, as a look of awe flashed across their eyes. Dong Er's abilities have far surpassed us. Lin Zhentian stroked his beard as he looked to his side at Lin Dong. The expression on his face could not be described by mere words. He had painstakingly worked for a good part of his life in order to establish his Lin family in Qingyang town. However, once Lin Dong sprung up, in mere 2 years, their Lin family had already managed to establish such a position for themselves in Yan City. Previously, this was something that he could not have imagined. To one side, Lin Ken and the rest nodded their heads, before they said with a smile, "It seems like Dong Er has benefited substantially from the trip to the old tomb." Lin Dong chuckled. With a wave of his palm, he kept the ancient heavenly scales halberd into his qianqun bag. Tilting his head towards Lin Zhentian and Lin Xiao, he mumbled to himself for a while before he said, "Grandpa, father. This time, after the Blood Wolf Gang has been taken care of, I shall leave Yan City for a period of time." "Leave? Where to?" When they heard his words, Lin Zhentian and the rest were stunned. "I will go to a place that will allow me to become even stronger." Lin Dong was silent for a moment before he spoke. If it was not for the trip to the old tomb, perhaps he would be content to stay here and wait for the clan gathering. However, at that time, he would still be an ant in Lin Longtian's eyes. Even if the him at that time challenged Lin Langtian, the result would likely be similar to Lin Xiao in the past. This was not a sight he wanted to see. After he saw how his spirited father was reduced to such a sorry state by Lin Langtian, defeating that latter had always been a goal in his mind. The matters that happened in the old tomb only served to amplify his desire to accomplish this goal. In fact, in some ways, Lin Dong should thank Lin Langtian. That was because the latter led him to understand that there was still a huge distance between the two of them. Sometimes, it's not terrible to learn that there is still a gap between you and your opponents. Rather, it's scary when you only learn it after it's too late. Thankfully, Lin Dong managed to discover the gap between him and Lin Langqian. Hence, this gave him the opportunity to play catch-up. Furthermore, he once swore to defeat Lin Langqian. During the clan gathering, he will defeat this legendary figure famed throughout the entire Yan dynasty in front of everyone. Hence, in order to accomplish this, he was prepared to pay a huge sacrifice and work extremely hard. Dong Er, what happened? Did they slight you during the trip to the old tomb? As Lin Dong's father, Lin Xiao evidently understood Lin Dong very well. His gaze flashed, as he furrowed his eyebrows and inquired. Father, I am fine. It's just that Yan City no longer suits the current me. Lin Dong smiled as he replied. Right now, he had already grown up and should handle some issues on his own. Even if he spoke of his conflict with Lin Langqian, other than making Lin Xiao and the rest enraged, there was little else that it would accomplish. Lin Xiao stared at Lin Dong. Moments later, his palm heavily patted the latter's shoulder, as he slowly said, regardless of your decision, we will not object. However, do not forget this, wherever you are, and no matter what you have been through, as long as you return here, this is always your home. We may not be as powerful, however for you, we will do anything. As he looked at the solemn expression on Lin Xiao's face, Lin Dong's heart warmed a little. Promptly, he nodded his head and said with a smile, Don't worry Dad, in 2 years, I will return in time for the clan gathering. At that time, I will avenge the humiliation that you suffered. He did not say the last sentence out loud, rather it sounded out inside Lin Dong's heart. On that day, he would let all the Lin clan members, who ridiculed his father, know that the son had came to repay his father's debts. To one side, when Lin Kan and the rest heard of Lin Dong's plan to leave, they were somewhat saddened. However, they did not object, but rather patted the latter's shoulder and said a few touching words. Even though their family was not yet as powerful as some other families, they had a strong sense of camaraderie that other factions lacked. Little brother Lin Dong. While Lin Dong chatted with Lin Xiao and the rest, Xia Wanjin led several high-ranking members of the Thousand Gold Association and hurriedly walked over, before they bowed solemnly at Lin Dong. Brother Lin Dong, we are in your debt. You have helped our Thousand Gold Association tremendously. In the future, if you require assistance from my Thousand Gold Association, we will throw our full weight behind you without question. Xia Wanjin's face was especially serious as he declared. In the past, Lin Dong's abilities and potential clearly demonstrated that he was an asset worthy of investment. However, right now, based on Lin Dong's abilities, he had already reached a stage where Wanjin would look up to the former. Fighting against 3 opponents alone, killing one and even severely injuring the other 2. This result caused his heart to skip a beat. After all, he clearly remembered that when he first met Lin Dong, the latter was merely at the Heavenly Yuan stage. However, with Lin Dong's current abilities, even if he wanted to dominate Yan City, it would not be an impossible feat. Haha, Chairman Xia is too kind. Initially, I received much help and assistance from the Thousand Gold Association and Big Sister Su. If your association encounters any troubles in future, Lin Dong will be surely do his best to help out. Lin Dong gently smiled as he replied. Behind Xia Wanjin, a wide smile was plastered to Sun Su's beautiful face. The reason why the Thousand Gold Association was able to establish close ties with Lin Dong was mostly thanks to her efforts. Right now, the latter's ability and attitude did not disappoint her at all. Chairman Xia, after this matter, I may leave Yan City for a while. At that time, I hope that you can look after my Lin family. Oh? You are leaving? Upon hearing these words, Xia Wanjin was taken aback. Slight reluctance was contained in his eyes, however he did not comment. Solemnly nodding his head, he replied, Don't worry, as long as my Thousand Gold Association is around in Yan City, we will be Lin family's closest ally. At this stage, no one would doubt Lin Dong's potential. Even if he left Yan City, he would eventually return one day. At that time, his strength would have probably grown tremendously again. Therefore, for their Thousand Gold Association, this was a massive hidden ally. Yu Shan is dead. The Blood Wolf gang now only exists in name. However, a dying camel is still larger than a horse. If one is negligent, one may leave behind several potential problems. Lin Dong gently smiled, glancing at the corpse and the floor as he spoke. Haha, little brother Lin Dong, don't worry. The remnants of Blood Wolf gang will never appear in Yan City again. Xia Wanjin was a wise man. He knew that since Lin Dong was going away for a while, he would naturally worry about his Lin family. Now that he had destroyed the Blood Wolf gang, the Blood Wolf gang remnants would definitely harbor a grudge and may attempt to ambush the Lin family. Hence, he immediately patted his chest as he reassured Lin Dong with a smile. After hearing these words, Lin Dong gently nodded his head. With a smile, he said, "In that case, I am sorry to trouble Chairman Xia. With regards to the two individuals from the Black Python Mountain, I hope that they can be cleanly taken care of." When he heard Lin Dong's casual words, Xia Wanjin's heart slightly shuddered. He could hear that Lin Dong was clearly unwilling to let Han Sheng and Han Zong escape. "I will handle this matter." Xia Wanjin's eyes slightly narrowed as he softly said. "Thank you. Now that this matter has been resolved, it's time for me to return home. If there are any further complications, you can find me at the Lin family." Lin Dong chuckled, not wanting to linger on in this chaotic area. Cupping his hands at Xia Wanjin and Suan Su, he led the Lin family as they slowly departed. As they walked, the surrounding crowd swiftly made way for them. Right now, none of them dared to underestimate this Lin family, which had only recently established themselves in Yan City. The shocking strength displayed by Lin Dong today had definitely knocked several of them out of their wits. "Let's go. The Blood Wolf gang is finished." On a distant building, the middle-aged man with jade-white skin softly chuckled, before he turned to leave. As he took a few steps, he suddenly paused. "In future, interact more with the Lin family. This Lin Dong holds tremendous potential and his accomplishments in the future will be astounding. A mere province or even an empire will not tie him down." When they heard this middle-aged man's evaluation, a little awe surfaced in Xiu and Grandmaster Yan's eyes. Chapter 193, Eruption of Yin Energy. Yu Shan's death and the destruction of the Blood Wolf gang undoubtedly became the hottest topic in Yan City during this period. No one had expected that the faction which had stood strong for about a dozen years, would completely fall apart in less than a month. Of course, as news of this spread, word of the main protagonist of this story, Lin Dong, spread like wildfire. Taking on 3 opponents by himself, plus, his opponents were extremely famous in Yan City and its vicinity. However, even if this was so, the former still managed to kill one and injure the other 2. With this kind of battle record, even when an ordinary person talked about it, he would feel the blood in his body start to boil a little. Such boldness truly caused one to be subdued. Moreover, when they heard that this person was not even 20 years of age, that subdued feeling would transform into a loud gasp of admiration. In the last 100 years of Yan City's history, this kind of talent had never appeared before. The Lin family was truly lucky to have such a descendant. In the following half a month, the previously rather famous Blood Wolf gang gradually faded like smoke under the Thousand Gold Association's merciless counterattack. Not one of the stronger practitioners in the gang was let off, as they were directly cleaned up by the Thousand Gold Association. When some of the ordinary factions saw this, they quickly made themselves scarce like frightened birds and animals. Furthermore, the factions which had some ties with the Blood Wolf gang previously hastily denied any relation to the latter, afraid that they would be implicated in this extermination. As the Blood Wolf gang was exterminated, the reputation of the Thousand Gold Association in Yan City also soared like the sun. Of course, compared to the unbounded Thousand Gold Association, the Lin family were much more low-key, and did not show off or spread news of this matter, as they continued their regular daily activities. Of course, after this matter occurred, most things proceeded extremely smoothly for the Lin family in Yan City, and there were no longer any factions which dared to obstruct them. After all, everyone knew that the biggest reason why the Thousand Gold Association were able to turn defeat into victory against the Blood Wolf gang was due to Lin Dong of the Lin family. With regards to their top-class practitioner, even the Thousand Gold Association was unable to match up to the Lin family, which possessed this kind of heavyweight like Lin Dong. Who else would dare to offend them? Wouldn't that be courting death? Thus, although the Lin family's overall power was most likely unable to reach the same level as the Thousand Gold Association, after the Blood Wolf gang had been wiped out, the Lin family had already become the new and genuine top faction in Yan City. While Yan City was abuzz due to the purge of the Blood Wolf gang by the Thousand Gold Association, Lin Dong did not take even half a step outside. Over this period of time, he stayed in the Lin family because after the Lin family younger generation knew that he would be leaving, many of them hastily tried to make the best use of their time to ask him for guidance in martial arts. In response, Lin Dong welcomed all of them. After all, if the Lin family's power could grow even a little, he would worry just a tiny bit less. Boom! In a courtyard deep in the Lin family estate, a faintly golden glow flickered in the air. A golden platform floated in mid-air, emitting an extremely oppressive aura. The golden platform appeared faintly golden in color and was about 3 meters large, giving off the sensation of being as heavy as a mountain. However, this square golden platform was not as compact as the one Wang Yan had displayed, but instead somewhat more illusionary. Bang! The golden platform flipped in mid-air, before slamming into the ground, directly turning a boulder to dust with a force so great that even cracks started forming on the ground. As he observed this destructive power, Lin Dong only slightly shook his head, a little unsatisfied. The might of the subduing golden platform magic palm he displayed clearly fell short of Wang Yan's. However, there was nothing wrong with this. The minimum requirement of the subduing golden platform magic palm was that one needed to reach the form creation stage. Or else, one would be unable to create a golden platform, and the attack power would be rather limited, unable to bring out that strong and powerful aura. Although the current Lin Dong had advanced to the perfect Yuan Dan stage, this was after all still a distance from the form creation stage. While using the Heavenly Scales Halberd technique, he was able to borrow the might of the ancient Heavenly Scales Halberd to bring out its power. However, this subduing golden platform magic palm needed the support of one's innate strength. Lin Dong being able to compact the golden platform to such a stage at the perfect Yuan Dan stage was already a fairly decent achievement. If it was not for the aid of his mental energy, he would definitely be unable to manipulate Yuan power to such an extent. Simply put, the so-called form creation was one's level of control of Yuan power. Only when one reached a certain degree of mastery would one be able to compact Yuan power into various shapes, and possess the ability to greatly strengthen one's attacks. Lin Dong's mental energy was not weak, and was able to complement controlling Yuan power rather well, helping him achieve a somewhat remarkable effect. Of course, this kind of path where one cultivates both mental energy and Yuan power was not unique to Lin Dong. Most practitioners would achieve a certain level of proficiency in both fields, however, one field would usually be deeper while the other shallower. Brother Lin Dong is great. While Lin Dong was deep in thought, a young girl's lively laughter suddenly sounded out. Upon hearing this voice, Lin Dong softly chuckled, as he lifted his head and gazed at the beautiful young girl in light-colored clothings nearby. He promptly walked over, taking a look at Qing Tan's slightly pale face, as his eyebrows furrowed. "If you're unwell, don't run about too much." Over this period, the breakout of yin energy in Qing Tan's body had become increasingly difficult to deal with. However, Lin Dong was not anxious to immediately use the extreme yin dragon saliva. This was because he still needed to wait for the time when the amount of yin energy reached its peak in a month. This time arrived tonight. Upon hearing this, Qing Tan happily laughed, making a face at Lin Dong, before tugging at the latter's arm. Her small and delicate face suddenly darkened a little as she said in a soft voice, "Brother Lin Dong is going to leave soon, right? To protect the people I want to protect, I need strength. My current strength is still not enough to protect all of you, thus, I require a greater strength, a strength that I cannot obtain in Yan City." Lin Dong tenderly stroked Qing Tan's fine hair as he replied. "I also want to protect brother Lin Dong." Qing Tan pouted a little and suddenly declared. "Haha, that will have to wait until you surpass me first. Lin Dong was delighted. Soon after, he rubbed his chin and said, if we are able to subdue the yin energy in your body tonight, in the future you will slowly be able to control the yin energy in your body. After which, your future achievements can only be described using the word terrifying. Surpassing me will then be a very simple matter. Really? Qing Tan's limpid eyes shined as she joyfully asked. Lin Dong softly chuckled as he nodded his head. He was silent for a moment before he continued, however, some matters are a little dangerous, and even fatal. Brother Lin Dong, I am not afraid. As if she sensed the hesitation in Lin Dong's tone, Qing Tan abruptly lifted her small face and declared without the slightest hesitation. Upon seeing this, Lin Dong was once again silent, before he finally nodded his head. You should go make proper preparations, tonight's matter is quite important. Qing Tan beamed as she heard this and repeatedly nodded her head. Her footsteps were quick and light as she fluttered away like a butterfly. As he watched Qing Tan's leaving figure, Lin Dong's expression turned a little solemn. On his shoulder, little Martin appeared and said, I should remind you that if the yin energy in her body completely erupts and she is unable to control it, she would at best be severely injured, and at worst, die on the spot. Of course, if she succeeds, it would be extremely beneficial for her. In the future, as long as she forms a yin dan, her strength would definitely soar. At that time, even you will find it very difficult to beat her. Although one has to go through trial after trial with this kind of physique, once the restrictions are undone, one will definitely become a favored child of the heavens. Lin Dong lightly nodded his head. He did not care if Qing Tan became strong. He would be most happy as long as she could happily live her life. Even if this is so, Qing Tan's body cannot endure for much longer. Hence, we might as well go all out and fight. Lin Dong had already mulled over this matter for half a month. Over this period, the frequency of the yin energy in Qing Tan's body erupting became more and more frequent. If this continued, Qing Tan would at most last half a year before her body becomes unable to resist the corrosion of the yin energy. Since the final outcome was the same, they would fight. Phew! Deeply sucking in a breath of cold air, Lin Dong lifted his head and gazed at the gradually darkening sky, as he mumbled, it will definitely succeed. Late at night, Qing Tan quietly sat on a stone platform in one of the inner courtyards within the Lin family estate. Cold yin energy slowly curled around her, such that even a thin layer of frost covered the stone platform. The yin energy in Qing Tan's body had yet to erupt, yet it already caused these changes in her surroundings. It was difficult to imagine how terrifying it would be when it really erupted. Below the stone platform, Lin Dong lifted his head and looked at the night sky. As the bright moon gradually dimmed, the yin energy around them also gradually became richer. He could even sense threads of yin energy invading Qing Tan's body without her control. Qing Tan's eyes were tightly shut. As the yin energy gushed in, the terrifying cold qi hidden deep in her body gave indications of appearing once again, while a chill quietly flowed out. As this chill flowed out little by little, about half an hour later, Qing Tan's body suddenly started trembling a little. The yin energy in her body was also triggered by the surrounding rich cold qi. Hum hum. Yin energy gushed about in mid-air, and continuously poured into Qing Tan's body while emitting wind noises. Lin Dong's eyes were tightly fixed on Qing Tan. When the yin energy in the latter's body reached the critical point, his eyes suddenly turned serious, as he lifted his hand and a jade box flew out from his Qian bag. When the jade box opened, a black elixir that emitted an exceedingly potent and pure yin energy slowly floated out, before finally hovering above Qing Tan's head. Sui! Lin Dong's gaze flashed, as his fist suddenly clenched. The extreme yin dragon saliva straightaway burst open, as an invisible pressure transformed it into deep black drops of viscous liquid that was filled with an inexhaustible cold yin energy. They dripped onto Qing Tan's head, and swiftly invaded her body. Boom! As each drop of deep black cold yin liquid entered Qing Tan's body, yin energy suddenly swept out from Qing Tan's body like a hurricane. In the face of this terrifying yin energy, even Lin Dong was momentarily shocked. Chapter 194, Black Yin Dan. The terrifying yin energy were like huge dragons, as they frantically burst out from Qing Tan's body. In an instant, the courtyard turned biting cold, as if the flesh was being cut off your bone, while a ghastly chill filled the air. Ka. The stone platform where Qing Tan was seated was so chilled by the extreme cold that it emitted cracking noises, as a thick layer of frost swiftly spread outwards. To think that the yin energy hidden in Qing Tan's body is this frightening. Lin Dong wore a solemn expression as he gazed at this sight. This was the first time he had seen such a frightening yin energy. Under the corrosion of such a yin energy, even he felt the blood in his body faintly start to solidify. Immediately, he urged his yuan power to wrap around his entire body. Only then did the ice-cold sensation weaken substantially. The terminus devil body was originally the most yin. Over these years, her body has been constantly absorbing the yin energy from around her. After settling for more than a dozen years, this yin energy had already become exceptionally powerful. If she is able to control it, she will possess a matchless cultivation foundation. In the future, her achievements will be limitless. Little Martin appeared on Lin Dong's shoulder, as it took a look at the cold qi which filled the courtyard before explaining. Lin Dong lightly nodded his head. He did not care how strong Qing Tan would become, as long as she was safe, he would be satisfied. Boom! While Lin Dong was watching with a serious expression, a pained look suddenly surfaced on Qing Tan's face. Her body violently trembled, as the yin energy that erupted from her body showed faint signs of turning black. Moreover, that kind of yin energy had also become much more potent. The terminus devil qi has been drawn out. Upon seeing this, little Martin spoke out in a low voice. This was the most terrifying thing in Qing Tan's body. If Lin Dong was infected by this terminus devil qi, his yuan power would likely be straight away frozen before completely shattering. The thick black terminus devil qi was like huge ropes which winded around Qing Tan. The terminus devil qi tangled with each other, looking just like a humongous black storm which soared towards the clouds. Ah! As the terminus devil qi endlessly gushed out from her body, black specks surfaced in Qing Tan's eyes, making her look extremely strange, while a pained and hoarse cry sounded out from her mouth. Tch! The terminus devil qi curled around Qing Tan's lily-white hands, before ferociously smashing into a boulder in front of her. In the face of this power, the originally sturdy boulder had become as weak as tofu. Qing Tan cannot endure any more. As he gazed at the Qing Tan's trembling body and her wildly dancing hair, Lin Dong's expression started to change. The terminus devil qi has erupted too violently, it needs to be suppressed. Little Martin was deep in thought as it said in a low voice, use the pure yuan pills, this terminus devil qi is exceedingly tyrannical, you cannot touch it, or else it will be very difficult for you to survive. Upon hearing this, Lin Dong did not hesitate at all. His palm lifted as an endless stream of pure yuan pills flew out from his Qian bag and floated closely together in the sky. From the looks of it, there were at least 1,000 of them. After drawing out 1,000 pure yuan pills, Lin Dong's palm once again moved, as a faintly golden yuan power burst out from his palm. As the yuan power spread out, the numerous pure yuan pills hovering in the air immediately showed signs of melting. In the end, they transformed into an extremely vigorous and pure yuan power. Go! Having transformed this 1,000 pure yuan pills into pure yuan power, Lin Dong's sleeve waved, as the yuan power poured down like a river, before slamming into Qing Tan's body, and continuously infusing in. Ch. As the powerful yuan power poured in, the terminus devil qi around Qing Tan's body emitted waves of black smoke, and the increasingly violent eruption was forcibly restrained. Although the current Lin Dong found it extremely troublesome to deal with this terminus devil qi, he had a considerable amount of resources to respond to it. This 1,000 pure yuan pills was akin to the combined force of several perfect yuan dan stage practitioners. Hence, suppressing the unripe terminus devil qi in Qing Tan's body was not impossible. Surging yuan power poured down in torrents, as the pained look on Qing Tan's face lessened substantially. Just as she sighed in relief in her heart, Lin Dong's shout suddenly sounded out in her ear, "Qing Tan, concentrate and win over the terminus devil qi. Only when you have compressed the terminus devil qi in your body into a dan, will you gain complete control over it." After hearing Lin Dong's shout, Qing Tan's became a little more clear-headed. She hastily concentrated and did her best to control the terminus devil qi which filled her body, directing all of it towards her dantian before compressing it. As Qing Tan focused, the terminus devil qi within her body started to scream, as it swiftly traveled through her body. Every time the terminus devil qi passed through her channels, muscles, and bones, it caused Qing Tan's body to tremble violently, as an acute pain like that of a knife cutting her spread out across her entire body. However, although the terminus devil qi corroded her body, and brought with it this intense pain, Qing Tan could feel that her body and organs were strengthening bit by bit under the pain. This kind of strengthening would gradually allow Qing Tan to completely adapt to the overbearing terminus devil qi. As she felt this change, Qing Tan resolutely gritted her teeth and bitterly endured. She understood that if she managed to successfully endure this, her strength would definitely advance by leaps and bounds. This was what she needed, because she did not want to see Lin Dong carrying all the burdens of their family on his shoulders every time. She wanted to help him and not be a burden to him. Hence, she also needed to become strong, and now, this was the most crucial step in becoming strong. She must not fail. A determined look flashed across Qing Tan's limpid and quick-witted eyes. Her lily-white hands tightly clenched, and with a flick of her mind, the terminus devil qi curling around her body started to surge, before being directly absorbed into her tiny mouth. Hum hum. The black mist dragons which twined around her body started to swirl frantically. Joined at head to tail around Qing Tan's head as they screamed out, forcefully sucking in all the yin energy in a 300-meter radius. This colon. When he saw this scene, Lin Dong was taken aback, as his body hastily retreated backwards. Even he dare not stay too close to this berserkian energy vortex. Although it is very late at night, this disturbance will definitely be sensed by some practitioners. Lin Dong's gaze slightly flickered, as he lifted his head and gazed at the sky in the distance. He could sense the appearance of some UN power undulations in that direction. Evidently, this disturbance had drawn the attention of a few practitioners. The current Qing Tan cannot be disturbed. Lin Dong's eyebrows furrowed, as a sword flickered below his feet. He swiftly floated into the air, grasping onto his ancient heavenly scales halberd. The halberd stamped in the skies as a powerful aura spread outwards. In Yan City, the expressions of the practitioners, who originally intended to scout this disturbance, changed when they saw the young figure hovering in mid-air, as they conscientiously stopped in their steps. Lin Dong had a rather overwhelming reputation in Yan City now, such that quite a number of people called him the #1 practitioner in Yan City. With him overseeing this affair, no one dared to rashly take a peek. The Lin family is in that direction. This disturbance, it looks like someone is about to have a breakthrough to the perfect Yuan Dan stage. This Lin family has truly concealed many talents. True, it is likely that the Lin family will become the true leader of Yan City in the future. In the night, some amazed whispers quietly spread about. At the center of Yan City, a man with a jade-like complexion lifted his head and gazed in the Lin family's direction. His expression was a little solemn, as he could sense the terrifying yin energy in that area. This Lin family is truly extraordinary. Leaving numerous practitioners in awe, Lin Dong looked down at Qing Tan. At this moment, black waves were rippling out from her body. These black rippled were extremely formidable and tyrannical, leaving behind a layer of black frost wherever they passed. The entire courtyard was covered in black frost. Fortunately, Lin Dong knew the disturbance this time would not be small. Hence, he intentionally found a more remote area, or else, if this cold qi were to escape, it would cause considerable damage. The terminus devil qi in her body is becoming more and more frightening. This lass, her willpower does not lose out to yours in the slightest. To think that she is actually able to endure the pain from the terminus devil qi corrosion. Little Martin suddenly said as it watched Qing Tan. Bang! Just as little Martin's voice sounded out, Qing Tan's eyes abruptly opened. Two strange black lights burst out from her eyes, and wherever the lights shined, countless black icicles would erupt from the ground with caw-caw sounds. When she opened her eyes, the aura from Qing Tan's body started to soar frantically. Heavenly Yuan early stage, middle stage, late stage. In a short few minutes, Qing Tan had already jumped to the Heavenly Yuan late stage. She was now only a single step from the Yuan Dan stage. When her aura reached the Heavenly Yuan late stage, Qing Tan's small mouth slightly opened, as the black storm-like terminus devil qi around her body immediately flew into that small cherry mouth. The black terminus devil storm that was a dozen meters large completely entered Qing Tan's body in a few minutes. Buzz buzz. As the last bit of terminus devil qi was sucked into Qing Tan's body, her long hair suddenly spread out. Qing Tan abruptly lifted her head, as a black light slowly rose out from her mouth. As the black light rose, it was as if the yin energy all around was being drawn in, and endlessly gathered towards the black light. As more and more yin energy was absorbed into the black light gradually grew brighter. In the end, it started to spin and slowly transformed into a deep black dan that was about the size of a thumb. This Yuan Dan was not large, and was covered in a deep black color. This kind of black looked as if it was able to gobble down one's gaze, an extremely strange sight. Just as this deep black Yuan Dan formed, Qing Tan's aura once again crazily soared under Lin Dong and quite a few practitioners' astonished senses. To think that the terminus devil body would be so terrifying after its awakening. Chapter 195, Activating the Stone Talisman. Such a powerful Yuan power undulation. Lin Dong wore a serious expression as he gazed at the black Yuan Dan which was emitting Yuan power undulations. This black Yuan Dan was different from the Yuan Dans he had seen before, because within this black Yuan Dan, he was not able to sense even the slightest bit of yin-yang power. In place of it was an extremely pure yin power. This kind of yin power was extremely formidable and tyrannical. One could only imagine how domineering it would be in a battle. People with these types of pure yin or pure yang bodies are exceedingly well equipped for cultivation. In fact, they should be considered as the real pride of the heavens. Right now, her body has not fully matured. After she has fully matured, her accomplishments will be substantial. A look of awe flashed across little Martin's eyes. Even though this was not the first time he had encountered such a body type, jealousy involuntarily surfaced in his heart. People with these type of pure body structures are able to accomplish twice the amount in the same time compared to normal practitioners. Qingtan should have succeeded. Lin Dong asked. Yes, that girl is extremely tenacious. Just now, when the terminus devil qi cleansed her body, she managed to forcefully endure that excruciating pain. Thankfully, you used a large amount of Yuan power to forcefully control that terminus devil qi explosion. Else, regardless of how tenacious she is, she would not be able to endure that blow. Little Martin nodded his head as he said. When he heard these words, Lin Dong gently heaved a sigh of relief. With regards to Qingtan, the assistance he could provide her was rather limited. Now that he saw that the latter was safe, his heart was calm. While Lin Dong heaved a sigh of relief, below him, a thumb-sized black yin dan was still slowly swirling. As more and more yin energy was absorbed by it, the yuan power vibration undulated by that yin dan became increasingly formidable. As that black yin dan swirled, its body was slowly enlarging. Moments later, when it was approximately the size of a small walnut, it finally stopped. On the surface of the yin dan now, its color had become increasingly dark and it seemed like any light reflected on it has been swallowed. From a distance, it seemed just like a black hole. Even though it was small, it gave off a heart-palpitating aura. When that yin dan stopped growing, Qingtan opened her tiny mouth, before the former turned into a black flash and entered inside her body. Boom! When that yin dan entered Qingtan's body, an exceedingly powerful yuan power shockwave exploded forth. That exceedingly powerful shockwave directly shattered all the black ice in the yard, before they turned into mist and floated off. Have you succeeded? As she first experienced this immense power flowing through her body, a look of delight gushed forth in Qingtun's eyes. In the future, the terminus devil qi inside your body will not explode again. Lin Dong's body gradually approached Qingtun. As he stared at the latter's smile, he gently smiled as well. Right now, Qingtun's strength would not lose out to a perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner. Hence, even if he left Yan City, their Lin family would still be quite powerful. In fact, in the future, Qingtun would likely replace him to become the strongest member of Lin family. Lin Dong brother, right now I am quite strong too. Can I come with you? Qingtun suddenly lifted her jade-like hands, as a trace of black Yuan power stealthily flowed between her long and beautiful fingertips. Then she stared somewhat eagerly at Lin Dong as she asked. Lin Dong was slightly stunned, before he shook his head without hesitation. His journey this time was not for leisure. Furthermore, the outside world was several hundred times more dangerous than Yan City. In certain places, he was not even confident that he could protect himself. Hence, how could he risk bringing Qingtun along? When she saw Lin Dong's expression, Qingtun knew that there was no room for discussion. Immediately, she grunted in disappointment. When he saw this situation, Lin Dong involuntarily smiled. Then, he lovingly stroked Qingtun's tiny head as he said, "Don't worry. When the family clan competition begins, I will be back. At that time, it will be time for that fellow to repay this debts." Lin Dong lifted his head as he stared at that full moon. In his mind, the image of Lin Langtian staring at him just like an ant resurfaced. "Lin Langtian, in 2 years' time, we shall meet again." After resolving Qingtun's problems, Lin Dong was evidently able to relax. In the following 2 days' time, he felt more light-hearted. Elsewhere, he gave a portion of his pure Yuan pills to Lin Zhentian and the rest. For the Lin family, this amount of money was still considered rather substantial. With these resources in hand, their Lin family's progress would definitely be more smooth sailing. Inside the serene room, Lin Dong was seated on his bed. A stream of mental energy shot out from his eyes, before a mental energy map surfaced in front of him. This mental energy map was largely the map of Great Yan Dynasty. On the bottom left corner of the map, was a flashing red dot. That was the location of an ancient symbol and that was where Lin Dong was headed to. On that mental energy map, it showed the locations of 2 ancient symbols. However, Lin Dong only knew the area around one of them. For the other, its surroundings seemed exceedingly foreign and it was evidently not situated in Great Yan Dynasty. Hence, Lin Dong could only target the other one. On Lin Dong's shoulder, little Martin suddenly appeared as he stared at that mental energy map. "During this period of time, I have been studying the map. The location of that ancient symbol should be in the Great Wilderness Province situated at the west side of Great Yan Dynasty." Lin Dong stared at that red dot as he muttered. Great Wilderness Province was a large county situated at the western edge of Great Yan Dynasty. Its land area was several times larger than Tiandu Province. However, since it was situated near the border, it was an extremely chaotic place dominated by several major factions. In fact, even the reputation of the 4 great clans in Great Yan Dynasty will be heavily discounted in such a place. That place was several times more dangerous than Yan City. A perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner may be able to cause waves in Yan City. However, at that place, he would definitely fail to do so. Nonetheless, where danger exists, opportunity lurks around too. It is reputed that in that large area, there were countless treasure hidden within. Furthermore, there were several wise men residing in its deep mountains and all sorts of secret martial arts and spiritual arts could be found there as well. Hence, if one is able and fortunate, he could possibly transform from a carp into a dragon and become a famed practitioner in Great Yan Dynasty. Of course, if one is negligent, he could just as easily lose his life. The mental energy map only provides the general location and it does not pinpoint the exact location of the ancient symbol. It seems like we can only investigate when we arrive there. Lin Dong furrowed his eyebrows. He was slightly troubled about venturing into the most chaotic and dangerous place in Great Yan Dynasty. Nonetheless, he had no other alternative. Out of the two known locations of these ancient symbols, this was the only one he could go for. Yes. Little Martin nodded his head, before he said, "So, when are you ready to leave?" "We have lingered in Yan City for quite a while. There is no need to stay on any further, let's depart tomorrow." Lin Dong was silent for a moment, before he spoke without hesitation. "That place is definitely different from this small Yan City. If you wish to successfully obtain the ancient symbol, you would need to upgrade your strength." Lin Dong gently nodded his head. He naturally understood this principle. Even though he was now a big shot in Yan City, when he arrived at Great Wilderness Province, he would have to keep a low profile. With regards to upgrading his strength, he was already trying his utmost best. Based on your current strength, you should be able to activate some parts of the stone talisman. Activate the stone talisman. Lin Dong was slightly stunned before a fervent feverish glint exploded forth in his eyes as he stared right at little Martin. He knew that this mysterious stone talisman had an extraordinary background and it may have possessed more hidden abilities. However, regardless of how hard he tried, he could not uncover any other additional abilities. "On account of the fact that you helped me to obtain several demonic souls from the old tomb, little Martin will assist you." As he stared at Lin Dong's expectant eyes, little Martin pridefully chuckled. With a flash, his body turned into a light beam and flew inside the stone talisman embedded inside Lin Dong's palm. Then, in a flick of his mind, Lin Dong's mental energy swiftly followed behind. The dark spiritual domain was now slightly brighter than before. The glowing shadows were still tirelessly displaying every martial arts that Lin Dong had learnt. In fact, even the ancient heavenly scales halberd techniques and subduing golden platform magic palm were being displayed by these glowing shadows. Furthermore, they were performing these martial arts perfectly. In fact, a major reason why Lin Dong could quickly master these two new forms of martial arts was thanks to these glowing shadows. This stone talisman is exceedingly mysterious and it has been in the possession of several elite practitioners. When these practitioners pass away, they would seal some of their famed skills inside. However, right now, since you are still too weak, you are unable to obtain those skills. Little Martin hovered inside the spiritual domain, as he stared at a dark area and casually said, "Right now, based on your current strength, you are barely adequate. In terms of martial arts, only your ancient heavenly scales halberd techniques and subduing golden platform magic palm amounts to something. However, your secret art skill is still lacking and that is your current weakness. If this goes on, when you fight with others, based on your current secret arts skill, it would be difficult for you to last." Lin Dong nodded his head. The Tri-Sun art that he possessed was only a second-tier secret arts. Meanwhile, the martial arts like ancient heavenly scales halberd techniques and subduing golden platform magic palm were considered top-tier. Even though they were extremely formidable, they took a heavy toll on his body. Though he had pure Yuan Dan pills to support him, it was not a complete solution. Since many elite practitioners have left something behind, then, Lin Dong's eyes turned to look at little Martin. "Ha, you are quite fortunate. Typically, only after you advance to creation stage can you begin to break through some of these weaker seals. However, after a long period of time, some of these seals have weakened. Therefore, you can barely manage to break them now." Little Martin released a weird smile, before he suddenly waved his claws and shouted, "Pour all of your mental energy into my body." When he heard these words, Lin Dong did not hesitate. With a flick of his mind, countless mental energy rushed into little Martin's body. As a formidable mental energy gushed forth, little Martin's body became slightly more lifelike. Promptly, streaks of purple light beams emerged from his claws. When these light streams penetrated into the dark areas of the spiritual domain, Lin Dong could faintly feel that at that area, an item that was hidden extremely well and slowly being taken apart. A shockwave emerged from that dark area. Moments later, little Martin's claw suddenly jutted forth as a suction force gushed forth. Then, a golden shining column emerged from the darkness as it directly ripped across the dark regions. With an exceedingly forceful aura, it flew forth and hovered in front of Lin Dong. Lin Dong stared at that golden light before he saw that a shining golden ball was hidden within as it slowly rotated. Above that shining ball, were 4 ancient symbols faintly appearing. Great Sun Thunder Body. Chapter 196, Great Sun Thunder Body. Great Sun Thunder Body. These ancient characters were faintly appearing on top of that glowing ball. An exceedingly forceful aura gushed forth, causing Lin Dong to stop breathing momentarily. This is, Lin Dong stared right at little Martin, with a feverish expression in his eyes. This should be considered as a first-tier secret art. Furthermore, it possesses the rare ability to enhance one's body as well. The owner of this secret art was once famed throughout the world, and he used this secret art to kill several elite practitioners. He was truly a legendary figure. Little Martin smiled as he said, "One ST-tier secret art." When he heard these words, the fever in Lin Dong's eyes intensified. Even though a second-tier and first-tier secret art was only one stage apart, the difference between the two was akin to the difference between heaven and earth. For a second-tier secret art, Lin Dong was able to acquire it for several thousand Yang Yuan pills. However, for a first-tier secret art, even if he used several thousand pure Yuan pills, he would fail to acquire one. Even for a massive faction like the Lin clan, only the core members would be given the opportunity to acquire these type of secret art. Furthermore, once they acquired one, they would never surrender it easily. After all, once one acquires a top-tier secret art, then in the journey of cultivation, one would be able to take several shortcuts. Hence, this was extremely important for any practitioner. This Great Sun Thunder Body is split into 3 chapters. The first chapter is not only able to unlock 43 inner channels, but it is also able to create a Yuan power swirl below your skin. When you activate it, you will be able to absorb Yuan power from heaven and earth into your body as a rate several times faster than before. The Yuan power crystallized by Great Sun Thunder Body is also called Great Sun Thunder Yuan. It is able to enhance your body and strengthen your bones and muscles. If you are able to successfully master the first chapter, you can then unlock the first hidden skill known as Bronze Thunder Body. Bronze Thunder Body. Lin Dong was slightly taken aback. This so-called Bronze Thunder Body is able to enhance your body substantially. If you are able to succeed, at that time, even a low-grade soul treasure is unable to penetrate your defenses. In fact, you would be impenetrable to any blade and no fire or water can hurt you. Little Martin casually smiled as he said, "Impenetrable to any blade, no fire or water can hurt you." Lin Dong involuntarily sucked in a breath of cold air. This was the first time he had seen such an exceedingly powerful secret art. This so-called Great Sun Thunder Body was indeed extraordinary. There is no need to be this shocked. The Great Sun Thunder Body is split into 3 chapters. The first is Bronze Thunder Body, the next is Jade Thunder Body, and the final is Great Sun Thunder Body. In the past, when the owner of that secret art mastered Great Sun Thunder Body, with a punch, he is able to crush a high-grade soul treasure. In fact, even a Nirvana stage practitioner does not dare to receive his attack. When he heard little Martin's words, Lin Dong was sweating involuntarily. He had personally experienced the might of a high-grade soul treasure, and it was even able to directly penetrate the soul puppet's solid body. However, this type of treasure was unable to survive a punch from Great Thunder Body. Hence, this kind of power was truly astonishing. Lin Dong deeply exhaled as if he wanted to exhale all the shock in his heart. Then, he stretched out his palm as he tried to investigate the glowing golden ball in front of him. Buzz buzz. Just as Lin Dong's palm reached in, that glowing light began to vibrate before it turned into a golden liquid and wrapped itself around Lin Dong's palm. Then, it flowed inside his body through his pores. When that golden liquid flowed into his body, a golden light exploded inside Lin Dong's mind as the secret skill manual surfaced. Lin Dong stood his ground with his eyes closed, as a soft golden light surfaced in his mind. Moment later, he slowly opened his eyes. Right now, a light golden glint was flashing across his eyes. This is indeed a first-tier secret art. If you want to master Bronze Thunder Body, you actually require tempered thunder pieces. This, a golden spark flowed in Lin Dong's eye as he furrowed his eyebrows. A thunderbolt was exceedingly powerful and most ordinary people would seek to avoid it. Hence, who dared to harvest tempered thunder pieces? Though this secret art seemed extremely powerful, it was extremely dangerous to cultivate in it. In this world, how can you expect a reward without risks? In fact, there are even risks involved when cultivating your lousy secret art. Furthermore, this is the Great Sun Thunder body? Don't be too greedy. Little Martin pursed his lips as he spoke. Lin Dong waved his hands. He naturally understood his principle as well. After he grumbled to himself, his eyes turned towards the location of the glowing shadows. At that area, a new glowing shadow had been born. Inside its body, there was a faint golden glow. That was the cultivation trajectory for Great Sun Thunder body. Inside that glowing shadow, that golden line began to move as it traced out all of the hidden and deep inner channels inside the human body. Thanks to that golden line, all the new inner channels were reflected inside Lin Dong's eyes. 1 line, 2 lines. 43 lines. When that 43rd line was sketched out, Lin Dong's eyes suddenly opened up. He tightly stared at that golden line, which had now slowed down. He was eager to find out whether this mysterious stone talisman could refine and improve such an exceedingly powerful first-tier secret art. Under Lin Dong's tight glance, that golden line, which had slowed down, once again slowly pushed forth. Then, it finally slipped into a foreign trajectory that had not appeared on the Great Sun Thunder body. The 44th line. When he saw that sight, a look of awe surfaced on Lin Dong's eyes. Evidently, he did not expect that mysterious stone talisman was able to refine such a powerful secret art. From some angle, a first-tier secret art could be considered as nearly perfect. Hence, when the stone talisman traced out the 44th inner channel, it completely stopped. However, Lin Dong was fairly pleased with this progress. After all, he understood that this additional inner channel was able to boost his cultivation progress by twofold. As he secretly praised the stone talisman's ability inside his heart, Lin Dong promptly remembered the trajectory of every inner channel, before he left that spiritual domain. Inside his room, Lin Dong has barely exited from the spiritual domain before he straight away began his cultivation. With a flick of his mind, the dark golden Yuan Dan inside his Dan Tian began to swirl suddenly. Meanwhile streams of Yuan power began to howl forth. Boom! A thick Yuan power began to surge inside his inner channels. With a flick of his mind, streams of Yuan power barged into a foreign inner channel just like an enraged python, before they broke through all of the obstacles. Right now, based on Lin Dong's current strength, it was not difficult for him to break through the obstacles obstructing his inner channels. In mere minutes, he had managed to forcefully unlock the first inner channel of Great Sun Thunder body. Then, his Yuan power once again dashed forth as they tirelessly rushed towards his second inner channel. Swoosh swoosh! Nearly all of the Yuan power inside Lin Dong's body was now being utilized. Faintly, there was a crisp water flowing sound echoing out, as his inner channels were swiftly unlocked thanks to his powerful Yuan power wave. However, this smooth progress did not last for a long time. Even though a first-tier secret arts is exceedingly powerful, it was several times more difficult to master. Though Lin Dong was able to swiftly unlock every inner channel of Tri-Sun arts in a short period of time, he was evidently unable to do the same for Great Sun Thunder body. Hence, after Lin Dong managed to unlock the 9th inner channel, the Yuan power in his body began to dry up. When he detected his situation, Lin Dong did not hesitate. Rather, he directly took out several dozens of pure Yuan pills from his Qian bag, before he absorbed it into his body in order to replenish his depleted Yuan power. With this nourishment, Lin Dong once again collected himself and began diligently unlocking all of his blocked inner channels, just like he was opening up a stairway to heaven. When Lin Dong diligently unlocked all of these foreign inner channels, some changes began to occur to his Yuan power. As he unlocked more inner channels, his originally dark golden Yuan power began to glow brightly as an exceedingly formidable aura began to stealthily appear. Great Sun Thunder Yuan. Evidently, This enhanced Yuan power was the Great Sun Thunder Yuan that little Martin mentioned. This was the power of a first-tier secret art, as it could even strengthen one's Yuan power. This magical effect was something that an ordinary secret art could not accomplish. Furthermore, Lin Dong also realized that once he managed to thoroughly convert all the Yuan power in his body into Great Sun Thunder Yuan, his battle ability would surge to a whole new level. In fact, if he successfully mastered Bronze Thunder Body, he could probably match up against a creation stage practitioner. Boom boom! That glowing golden Yuan power was like a tidal wave flowing through Lin Dong's body. Faintly, just like a thunder roar, whenever these Yuan power passed through his bones, muscles and flesh, Lin Dong could sense a trace of a electrical-like power stealthily seeping through. Thanks to this peculiar energy, Lin Dong's body was now gradually being strengthened. The advantages of a first-tier secret art were now beginning to show itself. As he sensed the immense changes inside his body, a delight surged in Lin Dong's heart. Evidently, he had never expected such profound changes right after he started cultivating a first-tier secret art. Then, without hesitation, his finger jutted forth as hundreds of pure Yuan pills flew from his Qian Kun bag, before they were turned into a stream of pure Yuan power and was absorbed by his body. Then, they transformed into a tidal wave as they surged towards the remaining blocked inner channels. Bang bang bang! As they encountered Lin Dong's aggressive attack, all of the hidden inner channels were just like popcorns, as they were all swiftly unlocked with a pop sound. As his inner channels were being unlocked, the Yuan power inside Lin Dong's body began to swiftly metamorphosis. Chapter 197, A Challenge Before He Departed. Over the course of the night, Lin Dong did not rest at all. After depleting thousands of pure Yuan pills, he managed to log a significant progress. Out of the 44 inner channels, he managed to directly unlock 15 of them. His progress can be considered as quite substantial. After all, this Great Sun Thunder Body was a true first-tier secret skills, and it was much harder to master compared to other secret skills. After he unlocked 15 inner channels, approximately one-third of Lin Dong's Yuan power had been transformed in Great Sun Thunder Yuan. Furthermore, thanks to his high-grade Yuan Dan, his enhanced Great Sun Thunder Yuan was even more powerful. Based on Lin Dong's calculations, just using this one-third proportion of his Great Sun Thunder Yuan, he was able to match up against himself. A first-tier secret skill indeed lives up to its reputation. Sunlight poured forth his window and shone on the ground before it was split into warm light columns. Lin Dong, who was now lying on his bed, started to gradually open his eyes. Below the pores of his skin were a faint shimmering golden glow, before they gradually disappeared. 15 channels. When he noted his progress from one night, Lin Dong gently nodded his head. However, he was not extremely satisfied. It was increasingly difficult to unlock the remaining inner channels. Based on Lin Dong's prediction, the Yuan power needed to unlock one additional inner channel was several times that of before. Therefore, Lin Dong needed to use thousands of pure Yuan pills in order to unlock the 16th channel. Henceforth, in order to unlock the remaining 29 inner channels, Lin Dong would need at least 30,000 pure Yuan pills. However, evidently, even after he received a fortune from that rich bastard Wang Yan, Lin Dong was still unable to afford it. At this moment, Lin Dong finally understood just how crucial these pure Yuan pills were for a practitioner. If he had enough pure Yuan pills, then in perhaps a few months' time, he would be able to unlock all 44 inner channels. Of course, if he only utilized the Yuan power from between heaven and earth, then his rate would slow down by at least tenfold and perhaps even more. At the same time, Lin Dong finally understood just how broke he was currently. In the journey of cultivation, talent was naturally important. However, if one lacked sufficient resources, then he would just be like a talented housewife who cannot feed her family without rice. Lin Dong sat on his bed as he tallied the pure Yuan pills left in his Qian Kun bag. As he gave 10,000 of them to the Lin family, he only had approximately 20,000 left. This was evidently insufficient for him to unlock all of his inner channels. Furthermore, for this trip, in order to play safe, he was forced to keep many pure yuan pills in reserve. Else, should he encounter any massive problems, he would lack the pure yuan pills needed to activate the soul puppet. So broke. After he tallied, Lin Dong involuntarily sighed. Then, leaping off his bed, his eyes glanced at his surroundings before he muttered to himself, "It's time to go." He had already lingered in Yan City for a while. Now that Kington's terminus devil body had been taken care of, it was time for Lin Dong to depart. After all, the remaining time that he had was quite limited. 2 years' time may not seem short. However, at the end of that time period was a back shadow that caused one to suffocate. Furthermore, in 2 years' time, Lin Dong must catch up with that man that now far exceeded him. Lin Dong was not an indecisive man. Since he had made up his mind to leave today, he did not hesitate further. Moments later, he packed his bags before he relayed the message to Lin Zhenchuan, Lin Xiao and the rest. When his message got out, the Lin family turned chaotic immediately. In the front yard, almost everyone had gathered there. As things stand, Lin Dong's status in the Lin family has already exceeded that of Lin Zhenchuan. Furthermore, the reason why the Lin family was able to establish themselves in Yan City was largely due to Lin Dong's efforts. With regards to this elite individual, every member of Lin family deeply respected him. After all, between heaven and earth, power is the most important thing. With power, one could change anything. As he stared at that numerous black heads gathered at the front yard, Lin Dong felt slightly helpless. Especially when he saw Kington's big tearful eyes, he felt a slight headache. "Dong Yar, when you go outside, be careful." Lin Zhenchuan was evidently reluctant, as he constantly instructed him. Even though he knew that this grandson was an exceptional individual that would not be tied up by this small Yan city, when the time came to bid goodbye, the old man's heart was still highly reluctant. "Grandpa, don't worry." Lin Dong smiled. He was not a naive brat anymore. In these 2 years, he had defeated the Lei Xie families, Blood Cloth sect, Blood Wolf gang and even fought against the elite younger generation members of Great Yan dynasty. Hence, even though the outside world was dangerous, he was not afraid of it. Growl. Standing beside Lin Dong, Little Flame released a deep growl. Contained within his growl was a unique pressure. After it had swallowed numerous demonic crystals in the old tomb, Little Flame's strength has surged in this past month. In fact, right now, even if it fought against a perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner, it had a good chance to emerge victorious. Hence, for this journey, Lin Dong planned to bring it along. He heard from Little Martin that Little Flame used to be an ordinary fire python tiger. However, due to mutations in its bloodline, it would become fairly powerful in the future. Therefore, Lin Dong was naturally going to take good care of this talented assistant. A good man's ambition is far and wide. A dragon should be soaring in the skies. Dong Yar, do what you want to do. Father is curious to find out just how powerful my son would be. Lin Xiao heavily patted Lin Dong's shoulder, before he said with a smile. As he stared at Lin Xiao's smiling face, Lin Dong's heart was touched. Gently nodding his head, with a flash of his figure, he leapt on the tiger's back and said, "Grandpa, father, uncle, please take care." Lin Dong was a decisive man. As he cupped his hands, he did not hesitate any more. Patting Little Flame, the latter released a deep growl, before it transformed into a fiery red figure and dashed out of the yard under the gaze of the Lin family. "I will be back for the family clan competition 2 years' time. Grandpa, at that time, the Lin clan will beg you to rejoin them." As that fiery red figure departed, a solid shout echoed forth from a distance and swirled around this front yard. This caused the blood of several younger generation members to boil. This charisma! He is indeed Lin Dong brother. Ha ha! Lin Zhenchuan's aged eyes were slightly moist as he stared at Lin Dong's departing back. Then, he suddenly laughed heartily. He understood just how incredulous it would be for a massive faction like Lin clan to beg him to rejoin them. However, with regards to Lin Dong, he never doubted the former. For the family clan competition 2 years' time, he firmly believed that this grandson, would once again appear in front of them in an astounding fashion. At that time, any sparkling genius would lose their luster in front of him. Our Lin family may be a side family, but our grandson can still be a dragon. The sun rays poured down from the sky and shone on Lin Zhenqian's aged face. Plastered on his face was a look of pride and content. Having such a grandson was enough for him to die in content. A fiery red shadow dashed across the Yan city. The deep beastly growl caused several practitioners' face to change. However, none of them dared to voice their disagreement. After all of them knew who this fiery red beast belonged to. That fiery red shadow dashed across the city. Just as it was about to reach the city's gates, suddenly Lin Dong, who was seated on the tiger, lifted his head up to look at a spot above the city's walls. At that spot, was a figure stepping on top of the city walls. Meanwhile, his eyes were staring right at him. A creation stage practitioner. As he stared at that middle-aged man with jade-like skin, Lin Dong's pupils dilated. If he had guessed correctly, that man must be the mysterious Yan City Lord and the undisputed top practitioner in Yan City. Haha, Lin Dong young brother is about to depart. I cannot resist as I itch for a good fight. That middle man's figure stared at Lin Dong, who was standing afar. A soft laughter was enwrapped with a thick Yuan power as it spread out across the entire Yan city. Is that, City Lord Shi? Oh my god, even City Lord Shi has appeared. This Lin Dong is truly amazing. Yeah, it is reputed that City Lord Shi has advanced to creation stage. He is indeed the undisputed champion in Yan City. Now that Lin Dong is departing, even he has appeared personally. The two of them are the true elites of Yan City. If they crossed blows, it would decide who is the top practitioner in Yan City. As that middle-aged man's laughter spread forth, the entire Yan City almost instantly turned chaotic. Even though there were three main factions in Yan City, everyone knew that the City Lord Shi was the real master. Hence, this City Lord Shi that barely surfaced was the most reputed individual in the city. Hence, when that person spoke, a commotion erupted in the entire Yan City. Black figures, just like fleas, jumped on the rooftops and stared at that area. Lin Dong was taken aback by City Lord Shi's words. He had a good relationship with Ziyu and hence, he felt warm towards this City Lord. Immediately, his eyes looked at the middle-aged man. From the latter's eyes, he could detect no hostility. Instead, there was a fervent glint in his eyes. This was a look that only surfaced when one meets a rare opponent that could equal oneself. It seems like this City Lord Shi has not had a hearty fight for a long while. As he stared at that figure, Lin Dong suddenly smiled as pride gushed forth in his heart. Since he was planning to depart today, he wanted to have a hearty fight as well. Under the gazes of the crowds, Lin Dong's footsteps gently tapped on the tiger's back, before his figure flew off into the sky. The blade shadow below his feet flashed forth. With a grip of his palm, that vicious-looking ancient heavenly scales halberd appeared. As he stomped against the sky, a heart-palpitating formidable aura began to emerge forth. Since it is the orders of the City Lord, how could Lin Dong defy? As he stared at that figure hovering in the sky with a giant halberd, the crowd's blood began to boil. Chapter 198, Fighting the City Lord. Lin Dong's feet stepped on the blade shadow, while he carried the ancient halberd in his hands. He stared at that middle-aged man with a similar fervent glint in his eyes. Right now, since his previous battle with Wang Yan, his strength had grown again. Hence, he was curious to find out based on his strength alone, whether he could match up against a creation stage practitioner. Haha, such a formidable aura! Truly an outstanding young man. As he stared at Lin Dong's magnificent aura, that City Lord Shi gently smiled as a hint of admiration fleeted across his eyes. Promptly, gripping his palm, an approximately 3-meter-long jade-like longsword appeared in his hands. This longsword was fairly long, as it was about 3 meters long. In fact, it seemed just like a small spear. The blade was jade-like in color and there were a jade-like glow faintly shimmering on it. Based on the formidable aura given off by that sword, it seemed like it was a soul treasure. Broken jade sword. Haha, it seems like City Lord Shi does not dare to underestimate Lin Dong. Amidst the murmuring of the crowds, near the city walls, there were several figures looking at the sky. They were Xia Wanjin, Grandmaster Yan, and the rest. Ah, it's been years since I saw the City Lord Shi use his broken jade sword, Xia Wanjin softly sighed as he said. Why did father suddenly make this move? Didn't he instruct us to maintain cordial relationships with the Lin family? Standing beside them, Ziyu gently furrowed her eyebrows as she said. Haha, City Lord Shi is not a hot-headed man. If Lin Dong could match up against him, regardless of the outcome, the Lin family will surely establish themselves in Yan City. In fact, other major factions in neighboring cities will be afraid of plotting against them. Grandmaster Yan gently smiled. Even though Lin Dong killed Yu Shan and destroyed Blood Wolf Gang, that Yu Shan is merely at perfect Yuan Dan stage. However, City Lord Shi is a real creation stage practitioner. There is an extremely huge gulf between the two of them. In the eyes of many people, creation stage is an extremely powerful stage. Hence, if Lin Dong could fight against him in front of this crowd, regardless of the outcome, it would still be beneficial for his Lin family. Of course, if they knew that Lin Dong had already fought against Wang Yan, who was at the pinnacle of form creation stage, and even managed to snatch his Qian bag, then today's matter would be totally redundant. City Lord Shi gripped onto his jade sword, as an exceedingly formidable aura began to spread from his body. His aura was several times stronger than Yu Shan. Such a powerful aura naturally caused an uproar inside the city. Creation stage, even in this entire Yan city, there was only one such practitioner. As his Yuan power undulated, City Lord Shi stared at Lin Dong. In the next instance, just like a sudden gust of wind, the crowd felt a vibration between heaven and earth. Then, they saw an exceedingly powerful blade shadow flash across the horizons and ripped through the air, before it was viciously directed towards Lin Dong, who was standing on his own blade shadow. Ding! Lin Dong was calm. As he jutted his arm, a glowing golden Yuan power spread out on his halberd, before it turned into a golden flash and lightning quick countered against that powerful blade shadow. As golden Yuan power gushed forth, it directly managed to counter against that blade shadow. City Lord Shi, if you want to settle this match using such an attack, I am afraid that it will be an uphill battle. After he directly countered that blade shadow with one halberd technique, Lin Dong shrugged his shoulders. Then, tilting his ancient halberd, he laughed as he said. Yu Shan was defeated by you. Therefore, that is only logical. City Lord Shi gently smiled. From the fact that Lin Dong managed to casually counter his attack, evidently the latter's strength far exceeds that of an ordinary perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner. Hence, it was only natural for Yu Shan to die by his hands. Just as he finished speaking, a formidable look slowly appeared in his eyes. Meanwhile, at this moment, his aura became increasingly terrifying. Swoosh! As his terrifying aura gushed forth, City Lord Shi's feet suddenly jutted out, before he turned into a rainbow flash and dashed forth. On his left hand, an exceedingly bright glow exploded forth. Below it, was an exceptionally powerful Yuan power synthesizing together. Great Jade Palm! A deep shout echoed out from above. Immediately, the crowd saw a roughly 1 meter wide jade-like palm print exploding forth from the City Lord Shi's hand. Thanks to that aggressive attack, explosive sounds began to emerge from the surrounding air. As they saw this powerful attack, many people's faces began to change. City Lord Shi did not show any mercy for this attack, as this blow was enough to directly destroy a perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner. It seems like a creation stage practitioner is truly extraordinary. However, this menacing blow that led many people's faces to change, did not prompt Lin Dong to retreat. Instead, a feverish glow exploded forth in his eyes, as a golden glow simmered on his palm. Then, under the bewilderment of the crowd, it directly turned into a several meters long Yuan power golden platform. Boom! That golden platform materialized, before it dashed forth and heavily slammed against that jade palm. Instantly, an extremely forceful Yuan power shockwave exploded forth. Buzz! When that golden platform and the jade palm collided, Yuan power violently gushed forth. However, Lin Dong's footsteps suddenly moved forward. As he stepped on his blade shadow, he waved the ancient halberd in his hand before he directly ripped past that Yuan power shockwave. With a shimmering golden glow, he then violently stabbed at that city lord Shi. Ding! Ding! When blade and halberd collided, an extremely bright spark exploded forth, as Yuan power shockwaves continuously emerged. Even bystanders at a far distance away still felt their scalps turning numb. The two of them crossed blows extremely rapidly. In a short period of time, they had crossed blow over a dozen times. Amidst this intensive bout, the Yuan power in Lin Dong's body was being fully utilized as a bright golden Yuan power enwrapped his body. Faintly, one could even hear a deep thunder sound echoing forth. That was Great Sun Thunder Yuan. It must be said that the Great Sun Thunder Yuan that was refined by Great Sun Thunder body is indeed several times more powerful than ordinary Yuan power. In the past, if Lin Dong wanted to fight against a creation stage practitioner, after a few bouts, he would begin to falter. However, right now, his attacks only grew in intensity as he fought on. With a feverish glint in his eyes, he waved his ancient halberd manically. His expression caused a look of awe to surface in City Lord Shi's eyes. Evidently, he had never expected that Lin Dong, who was only at perfect Yuan Dan stage, could match up against him. Ancient Heavenly Scales Halberd Techniques, Fish Scales Halberd. Two shadows were battling in mid-air. Lin Dong suddenly switched his halberd techniques, as his Yuan power vibrations began to intensify. A bright golden glow directly materialized into a hideous-looking giant fish at the tip of his halberd, before it dashed viciously towards Shi city governor with a menacing aura. When they saw Lin Dong's attack, a chorus erupted in Yan City. This was precisely the move that he used to defeat 3 perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioners. Perfect Yuan Dan stage, yet you are able to materialize Yuan power objects. Truly remarkable. As he stared at that hideous-looking giant fish filled with a menacing aura, a solemn expression fleeted across City Lord Shi's eyes. Promptly, he took 2 steps back, before he utilized the glow on his jade longsword, and pushed his Yuan power to the maximum. Then, gathering all his Yuan power at the tip of his blade, he decisively hacked back. Buzz! When that jade longsword heavily slammed against that Yuan power giant fish, the jade-like glow on the blade swirled by and directly split that giant fish apart. It seems like the full counter-attack by a creation stage expert is truly extraordinary. Ancient Heavenly Scales Halberd Techniques, Python Scales Halberd. After his attack was countered in one move, Lin Dong was not surprised at all. As he waved his halberd, his Yuan power began to gush forth manically. Then, as his Yuan power grew increasingly vicious and formidable, it directly turned into a several meters long golden giant python at the tip of his halberd. As they stared at the lifelike giant python that was being materialized by Yuan power in midair and experienced that menacing Yuan power vibrations emitted by it, everyone was once again shocked. None of them expected that this Yuan power giant fish was in fact not Lin Dong's strongest move. This time, the expression in City Lord Shi's eyes turned increasingly solemn. He could sense just how vicious and maniacal that giant golden python was. Hence, he did not dare to underestimate it. As he switched his blade techniques, the jade-like glow on his blade began to gather together, until they eventually turned into a layer of jade-like object. Faintly, one could feel an exceedingly formidable sword aura spreading out. Broken Jade Blade Techniques. As they stared at that maniacal Yuan power shockwaves in mid-air, nearby, Xia Wanjin and the rest's facial expressions were replaced by a thick awe. After all of them knew that this broken jade sword techniques was the most powerful martial arts that City Lord Shi had. Hence, they were shocked to see that Lin Dong had actually forced him to use it. Broken Jade Blade Techniques, Great Jade Sword. A deep roar echoed out from City Lord Shi. Suddenly, the speed at which he swung his jade blade began to slow down, before he gently hacked down and collided against the giant python. Bang! The instance that they collided, an astounding Yuan power shockwave exploded in mid-air. In fact, some unlucky fellows near the ground was directly blown away by that shockwave. They seemed extremely hideous. As he faced that exceeding forceful shockwave, Lin Dong was also blown back. After he heavily slammed his ancient halberd on the ground, he was finally able to stabilize his body, before he utilized secret art to control the raging blood inside his body. Indeed a creation stage practitioner. As he looked at that UN power giant python that was gradually dissipating, a feverish glint flashed across Lin Dong's eyes. This was the most satisfying battle that he had thus far. With regards to his fight with Wang Yan, since the distance between the two of them were too huge, Lin Dong had been constantly under pressure and he could barely fight back with help from Symbol Puppet. However, right now, utilizing Great Sun Thunder Body and his ancient heavenly scales halberd, he was able to match up against City Lord Shi, who was at creation stage. Haha, you are truly an impressive young man. Such a young age, yet you are so skilled already. As a feverish glow surfaced in Lin Dong's eyes, City Lord Shi began to laugh. His eyes were tightly peeled on the former, as the fighting intent in his eyes intensified. Meanwhile, the jade sword in his hand was being slowly lifted up. Lin Dong, little brother, if you can receive this attack, then, you shall be the victor. Hovering in midair, Lin Dong gently clutched onto his ancient halberd. Licking his lips, he stared right at City Lord Shi as he saw a fighting intent in his eyes that did not lose out to his. Then, a heart-stirring roar sounded out in midair. Please enlighten me. Chapter 199, Dragon Transformation. Good. When he saw the fiery battle lust in Lin Dong's eyes, City Lord Shi could not help but let out a word of praise. Soon after, his expression slowly turned serious, as the clothes on his body started billowing although there was no wind. An exceedingly powerful UN power undulation gushed forth like a tide and slowly spread outwards. In face of this formidable UN power undulation, the expressions of many people in Yan City changed. Some of the more quick-witted ones hurriedly made some distance, so as to avoid being injured by the aftershocks. Can it be possible that City Lord Shi wants to use that move? Xia Wanjin watched the scene in the sky while his expression suddenly changed a little as his alarmed voice sounded out. The most formidable move of the Great Jade Sword style. It is said this move has already reached the upper-class martial art level. Before City Lord Shi had reached the from creation stage, he relied on this move to kill two perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioners with a single strike of his sword. Grandmaster Yan's expression also turned a little serious as he explained. Does father really intend to take Lin Dong's life? Zio bit her teeth. She naturally understood how terrible her father's strongest technique was. If this technique was used, and if anything unexpected happened, blood would definitely flow. That might not be so. Didn't you see that City Lord Shi was unable to defeat Lin Dong even after using the Great Jade Sword style? Moreover, this kid is not one to recklessly put up a false brave front. Since he dared to respond, he would at least be certain of surviving. Grandmaster Yan muttered to himself for a while, before he shook his head and said. However, although he said that, he inevitably felt somewhat nervous in his heart. After all, he had personally witnessed the might of City Lord Shi's move before. While they were discussing, Lin Dong's expression likewise gradually turned serious. He was also able to feel that powerful UN power within City Lord Shi's body and he sensed that the latter's next move would definitely be earth-shattering. The ancient halberd in his hand slanted towards the ground, as Lin Dong suddenly slowly spat out a ball of white qi. The Yuan Dan within his dantian slightly shuddered, as all the golden Great Sun Thunder Yuan whizzed out, before pouring into the ancient heavenly scales halberd. Buzz! As the tremendous UN power poured in, the ancient heavenly scales halberd immediately emitted golden rays of light. Faintly, the low sound of thunder rumbled out. Boom! As the ancient heavenly scales halberd glowed brightly, an intense light also erupted from the great jade sword in City Lord Shi's hands. An extremely vigorous UN power undulated on the blade and swiftly gathered at its tip. In a split second, the body of the great jade sword turned dim, while a fist-sized and extremely resplendent ball of light appeared at the tip of the blade. This ball of light was filled with a terrifying and formidable undulation, as if all of the Yuan power in City Lord Shi's body was concentrated within it. The ball of light trembled, emitting ripples of Yuan power undulation, which caused the Yuan power surrounding City Lord Shi to grow a little restless. Great Jade Sword Style, Burn Jade and Stone. When the ball of light appeared, City Lord Shi's arm seemed as if it was somewhat unable to contain the immense power within, as it trembled a little. In the next instant, his expression suddenly turned solemn, as a shout rumbled loudly in the air like thunder. Bang! As his shout rang out, the ball of light on the great jade sword's tip suddenly swept out like thunder. Meanwhile, City Lord Shi's aura fell greatly, such that even the glow on the great jade sword dimmed substantially. This strike seemed to have used up all of his power. However, although this strike was extremely taxing, its might was clearly overwhelming. The ball of light was not large, yet, as it flew through the sky, the air seemed to explode around it, causing some of the tall buildings below to be directly blown to pieces. This power greatly alarmed quite a number of people. If such an attack were to fall in their midst, it would be a massacre. The ball of light left behind a trail of light as it swept across the horizon, as if the sky itself had been ripped apart. As the light ray swept forth, Lin Dong's eyelids violently twitched several times. This move by City Lord Shi was indeed exceptionally astonishing. His twitching eyelids gradually regained its calm, as Lin Dong tightly gripped onto the ancient heavenly scales halberd which was emitting a golden glow. The halberd's body suddenly shuddered, as the fine scales which covered it slightly erected, like a dragon which had just awoken. Boom! Rays of golden light suddenly shot out from the ancient halberd, as Lin Dong's foot stamped off the sword, and his body swept forward under numerous shocked gazes. His target was the ray of light which contained an extremely strong Yuan power. Upon seeing that Lin Dong did not try to dodge but instead took the initiative to face the attack head-on, shocked cries erupted from the entire Yan city, and quite a few people believed that the former had gone insane. This, nearby, Grandmaster Yan and the rest were also frightened by Lin Dong's action. Even a form creation practitioner would have to avoid this attack, yet, Lin Dong actually dared to charge forward. The three of them looked at each other, clearly unable to understand why the usually cool-headed Lin Dong would act this way. Could it be that he truly had the means to face City Lord Shi's formidable attack head-on? Roar! While everyone was whispering about Lin Dong's seemingly impulsive actions, a peculiar roar suddenly sounded out across the skies. Quickly, the crowd saw the ancient halberd in Lin Dong's hands emit an extremely eye-piercing golden light. The golden light gathered on the ancient halberd and seemed to transform into an enormous dragon. The dragon image soared high in the skies, as it gave off an extremely tyrannical aura. It almost felt as if a terrible dragon had truly appeared. This sudden change immediately caused the whispers to stop. Only now did they finally understand that Lin Dong was not reckless, but instead genuinely had the means to contend. Heavenly Scales Halberd Technique, transform into the Dragon Halberd. A cold shout suddenly rang out in the skies, as the golden dragon image wrapped around that figure, bringing gusts of wind and lightning with it as it swept formidably across the horizons. Boom! Under those countless nervous gazes, the golden dragon image and the ray of light, that had been condensed to the limit, collided. In an instant, a frightening Yuan power storm erupted in the sky, as resplendent golden rays filled the horizon. The Yuan power ripples swept down from the sky, oppressing several people below, making it difficult for them to lift their heads while some of the weaker ones were barely able to breathe, as horror filled their faces. This was only the weakest waves. If their bodies were struck directly, would there even be any ashes left? Such a powerful attack! Filled with astonishment, Grandmaster Yan, Xia Wanjin, and the rest slightly narrowed their eyes, as they watched the skies. The golden dragon image caused them to feel a heart-palpitating aura. They knew that if they were attacked by this move, they would be killed instantly. Rumble rumble! Resplendent golden rays poured down from the skies, as a clap of thunder sounded out. A tiny cracking sound quietly rang out, as the crowd suddenly saw a golden light rip through the horizon at an unimaginable speed. In a flash, it appeared behind the city walls. The battle was concluded surprisingly quick. Just as the golden light lit up the skies, it suddenly dimmed slowly, before finally dissipating, while the golden dragon image also quietly faded. As they gazed at the suddenly quiet skies, countless gazes instantly looked towards Lin Dong, who had appeared on the city walls, and City Lord Shi, who was a distance behind. Who won? Gazing at the two figures, urgent voices swiftly sounded out in the city. The golden light from before was too resplendent, and they were unable to clearly see who had won and lost. Hehe, I did not expect that such a young and outstanding talent would appear in my Yan city. I am sure that my young friend Lin Dong will definitely stand among the ranks of the finest practitioners in the great Yan Empire in less than 5 years. This time, I have lost. City Lord Shi's body slowly landed on the city walls. He looked at the now dull great jade sword in his hand and a strand of hair on his shoulder, as he softly sighed. He knew that Lin Dong's previous attack was astonishingly powerful. Even he found it difficult to withstand it. City Lord Shi has actually lost. City Lord Shi's words were undoubtedly like a bomb, causing the entire Yan city to instantaneously erupt in an uproar. One by one, gazes unfathomably gazed towards the back of the young figure. They felt admiration when Lin Dong defeated Yu Shan, yet, they did not feel truly shocked, but now. Their original gasps of admiration had no choice but to start changing. Being able to match up to a form creation stage practitioner at such a young age, how dreadful would he be in future? Many people looked at each other, as they began to understand exactly how terrifying an existence this Lin Dong from the Lin family was. While such a person was alive, who would dare to have any ill thoughts about the Lin family? City Lord Shi is too modest, I currently have no strength left to battle. Lin Dong chuckled, and with a flick of his hand, he kept the ancient halberd into his Qian Kun bag. His figure directly leapt off the tall city walls, as a red shadow dashed over for him to mount. Together, they swiftly dashed away. Ha ha ha, City Lord Shi, I'm sure we'll meet again someday. As the fiery shadow faded into the distance, a faint chuckle sounded out from afar, causing those who were still submerged in that intense exchange from before to be awoken from their stupor. They gazed towards the vague and free-spirited figure in the distance, as admiration and respect surfaced in their hearts. Atop the city walls, City Lord Shi gazed at the spot where Lin Dong had disappeared, as a bitter smile appeared from the corners of his mouth. The previous blow had consumed all of Lin Dong's power, but, wasn't he in the same situation himself? This time, it was at best a draw. I really want to find out what kind of unparalleled person he will become when he returns to Yan City again. Chapter 200, Training Journey in the Forest. In the dense forests, a fiery shadow swept forth. Soon after, the figure on its back waved his hand downwards, as they slowly came to a stop. Cough. After little flame had stopped, a pale color spread across Lin Dong's face, causing him to let out a light cough. He quickly took out 10 pure Yuan pills and consumed them. When he felt his body gradually recover some Yuan power, he quietly sighed in relief. That final move by City Lord Shi is truly formidable. Lin Dong mumbled to himself. Previously, he had been forced to utilize the dragon transformation halberd of the ancient heavenly scales halberd technique. With his current strength, he was barely able to use this move, however, its might was excellent. Even so, he was still able to withstand City Lord Shi's astonishing attack. The present given by that Nirvana stage elite was truly extraordinary. Although they are both at the form creation stage, City Lord Shi is quite a bit weaker than Wang Yan. While recovering the Yuan power in his body, Lin Dong's eyebrows slightly furrowed. When he exchanged blows with Wang Yan, he was practically always at a disadvantageous position. In the end, if it was not for the latter's negligence and the aid of the symbol puppet, Lin Dong could not have possibly injured the latter. Yet, he had been able to rely on his own power to battle against the form creation stage City Lord Shi today. The creation stages are likewise divided into different ranks. However, these ranks are not as complicated as the Yuan Dan stage, and are only split into initial and advanced masteries. However, although there are only 2 levels, the difference between them is rather huge. Little Martin appeared on Lin Dong's shoulder and casually said, that person from before was at best initial form creation stage, while Wang Yan had already reached the advanced mastery stage. From there, making a breakthrough to the Qi creation stage is only a matter of time. Additionally, Wang Yan's secret art, martial arts, and weapon etc. are much stronger than City Lord Xi's. The fact that you were not his match is only logical. Initial and advanced mastery. Upon hearing this, Lin Dong suddenly had a flash of understanding. No wonder he felt that there was quite a big difference between the two. It turns out that this form creation stage was split into different levels. As for little Martin's last few words, he ignored them as usual. Kid, what do you plan to do now? Little Martin sat down on Lin Dong's shoulder as it lazily asked. Lin Dong was silent for a while, before he said, let's go to the Great Desolate Province first. The journey will not be short, and we will have to pass through several huge cities and mountains along the way. However, that is good as well. There are a great number of sects in the Great Desolate Province, and as many practitioners as the clouds in the sky, an extremely dangerous and chaotic place. If I can advance to the form creation stage or the fourth seal symbol master en route, the chances of obtaining the ancestral symbol will be greater when we reach our destination. Okay, it would also be best to master the first layer of the bronze thunder body. At that time, you will be able to manage even if you meet an advanced form creation stage opponent. Little Martin laughed and said. That will not be so easy, Lin Dong softly sighed. He had already used up a lot of time to open the remaining channels, and as for mastering the bronze thunder body, he needed to draw lightning in order to temper his body. This step was rather dangerous, and the slightest negligence would cause one to be struck dead by lightning. At that time, you could not voice out any of your grievances even if you wanted to. Let's take it step by step. Little Martin spread out its claws. There was no other way. The power of the bronze thunder body was rather substantial, and mastering it would naturally not be that easy. Upon hearing that little Martin did not have any constructive suggestions, Lin Dong could only helplessly shake his head, as he took out the map and tried to identify their location. He then lightly patted the tiger's back, as Little Flame let out a roar before dashing into the dense forests like an arrow. Lin Dong's final destination, the Great Desolate Province, practically covered half the Great Yan Empire, and this distance was at least 10,000 miles. Even if Lin Dong had Little Flame as a means of transportation, it would take several months to reach, not including the numerous cities along the way. After Lin Dong discussed with Little Martin, they decided not to take the main road or to enter any cities during this trip for the sake of not drawing any trouble to themselves. Instead, they would directly pass through the forests. Although demonic beasts run amok in these places, and it could not be considered very safe, compared to humans, these demonic beasts were evidently less complicated. Moreover, while journeying through the forests, Lin Dong could not only search for treasures and herbs, but he could also hunt demonic beasts as a form of training, and regard this part of the trip as actual combat training. Roar! A furious roar sounded out among the numerous towering trees in the forest. Soon after, a huge and smelly figure charged out of the forest, snapping several huge trees along its path. As this huge beast charged out, one could see that its body was covered with numerous vicious wounds, from which streams of blood gushed out. In the end, after struggling for some distance, it fell to the ground with a loud boom. As this huge beast fell, a figure dashed out from the forest, and landed on the huge corpse with a smile on his face. HSS. The figure was bare-bodied, revealing some faint criss-crossing scars. This body did not have humongous eye-piercing muscles, but when it stretched, it seemed as if an explosive power was under that taut skin, causing one to feel a sense of danger. This figure was naturally Lin Dong. Ever since he had left Yan City, he had spent almost half a month traveling through the dense woods. Over this period, he had spent the night in the open and fought to the death against countless demonic beasts. He spent practically every day experiencing several difficult and desperate battles. For example, this devil alligator leopard was a violent demonic beast whose strength surpassed most perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioners. Together with its innate speed and power, even an initial form creation stage practitioner would find it troublesome to deal with one. Lin Dong had tangled with it for almost half a day before he finally whittled it to death. Every day, he had gone through this kind of cruel life or death struggle. Over this half a month, Lin Dong had evidently changed quite a lot. Although his smiling face still looked gentle and determined, when his eyebrows furrowed, a frightening and terrible aura would linger around him. It was as if a dangerous being was hidden under that gentle face, and whenever someone would plan to do harm to him, he would immediately bare his sinister fangs. Tch. Lin Dong's hands were wrapped in golden yuan power, before he entered the devil alligator leopard through its softest part and grabbed a bloody demonic crystal. Then, he let out a whistle towards the forest. As the whistle echoed out, a fiery shadow that reeked of blood dashed out, revealing itself to be Little Flame. Currently, it had a demonic beast in its huge mouth, but from the looks of it, it was already dead. Casually tossing the demonic crystal in his hand to Little Flame, Lin Dong softly chuckled as he saw the latter's happy appearance. Over this period of time, Little Flame had similarly experienced all kinds of killings and battles, and during this time, its strength had also rapidly grown. Lin Dong could sense that the demonic spirits gulped down by Little Flame in the old tomb were swiftly being refined, resulting in Little Flame's aura growing increasingly dangerous. According to Lin Dong's calculations, the current Little Flame was able to effortlessly deal with even a perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner. I've already opened 20 of the Great Sun Thunder Body's channels. There are only about half left before I completely unblock all of them. While he sat and rested, Lin Dong sensed the Great Sun Thunder Yuan within his body was growing increasingly vigorous as each inner channel was unlocked. However, towards the end, the difficulty of unlocking the remaining channels increased. He had no idea when he would be able to fully unlock all the remaining 24 channels. It's still not bad. On Lin Dong's shoulder, Little Martin stretched out its claws as he lazily said. When will you recover your creation stage strength? Lin Dong glanced at this fellow, who always seemed to be free, as he somewhat helplessly asked. Upon hearing this, Little Martin's claws went rigid. With traces of shame and anger in his voice, he said, "Make sure you take care of your own cultivation. What is a mere creation stage in this Grandfather Martin's eyes? As long as Grandfather Martin feels like it, I can reach it any time." Lin Dong rolled his eyes, as he was too lazy to bother with this guy who had his sore spot touched. After resting for a while, he stood up and waved towards Little Martin as he prepared to continue on his journey. Wait! Just as Lin Dong was planning to move out with Little Flame, Little Martin suddenly voiced out. What is it? Lin Dong was taken aback, puzzled as he looked towards Little Martin, only to find that the latter had lifted its head to gaze at the sky, as a light flickered in its eyes. "Ha, kid, you're lucky. There's thunder," Little Martin strangely laughed as it said. Thunder. Lin Dong was once again stunned. He lifted his head and gazed at the suddenly darkening skies, as faint sounds of thunder rumbled forth. If you want to master the Bronze Thunder Body, drawing lightning to temper your body is a necessary step. Moreover, if you are successful, you can make use of the power of lightning to increase the chances of unlocking those remaining inner channels. Boom! Just as Little Martin's words sounded out, a thunderclap rang out in the skies. A silvery light flashed past and Lin Dong watched as a huge tree in the distance was turned into ashes. This. As stared at the smoking remains of the destroyed tree, sweat suddenly appeared on Lin Dong's forehead. He swallowed, forcing a smile as he said, "I think, there should be no need for this, right?" Purposely getting struck by lightning, such a thing, was not something any normal person would do. "Hi, why cower so much? Don't even talk about getting Ling Qingzu or defeating Lin Langtian, from what I can see, you can't even compare to Wang Yan," Little Martin ruffled its ears as it lazily said. "Stop provoking me." Lin Dong glared daggers at Little Martin, before spitting out a mouthful of saliva. A fierce look surfaced on his face, as he took big strides towards the nearest mountain peak. "God damn it, who's afraid? Go ahead and strike me to death if you have the guts." As gazed at Lin Dong's furious appearance, little Martin beamed as he nodded his head. Right now, he seemed especially crafty and sly.